I see you and Ohio State fans out there ever since the national championship game, not necessarily dogging Master Teague, but y'all aren't really showing him a lot of love and respect. And I want to ask why that is. This guy's a really capable back. I mean, he performed really well, honestly, as well as can be expected in the national championship game. He averages well over 5 yards a carry for his entire career. Like, why do y'all just immediately just go to, oh my God, it's just such a huge downgrade from Trey Sermon to Master Teague? I don't think that's true at all.
Apparently, the Ohio State coaching staff agrees with you because Master Teague was the starter for most of the season. And
Right.
Then whatever happened, I don't know if he got nicked up, I don't remember, or they just started to give Trey Sermon the ball a little bit more. Well, he did get nicked up in the Big Ten championship game, is why Sermon got more carries, and then obviously he exploded. I would have told you a couple months ago that there wasn't much distinction between the two. In terms of their productivity, you can see obvious differences in their running styles, but in terms of their effectiveness, if anything,
Right.
I expected, as I stated a number of times, a significant or decided drop-off from J.K. Dobbins with whomever they had, because I didn't see that out of Trey Sermon at Oklahoma, and I did not see that out of Master Teague before this season. The type of productivity of a J.K. Dobbins, who was one of the, let's say, 3 best backs in the nation. So I expected a drop-off. Okay, Teague basically won the job, and they gave him the 15 to 20 carries, and they gave Sermon the 8 to 10 or 12 carries for most of the season before Sermon took over at the end. And they're just different type backs. Sermon has the ability to just do some different things that Teague does not, in terms of shaking a tackler, finding a different cutting lane. So Teague's always going to run to the hole. He's always going to run to where the play is designed. Maybe the only exception I can think of is when Alabama threw him for a loss on a 4th down play because there was just nothing there and it wasn't his fault. And he started to slam it up between the tackles, and there was nothing there.
We just completely got through the line on that one.
Yeah, and he bounced it to the outside, and there was just no way of outrunning the defense. But otherwise, he's going to run it where the play is, and that's to his credit to a certain extent, but Trey Sermon has shown the ability to see cutback lanes. You know, how many times when you watch a college football game, is there a run designed to a certain side of the field, but because everything flows that way, you can just see this massive hole just open up on the other side of the field. Master Teague's not going to...
You're like pulling your hair out thinking, dude, just run. Just go that way. Go to the right. There's no one there. But he just follows the pile and ends up getting like 1 yard. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But, of course, there are times in which a player chooses to do that, but there's one, even though there's a opportunity for an enormous play, all it takes is one defender, especially against a defense like Alabama, who's quick enough or shoots a gap or gets off that block just in time to wrap that dude up for a 2-yard loss, in which the play should have been run to the hole and gained the 3 yards. So there are pros and cons to both, but Trey Sermon has that ability to break bigger plays because I don't know if he's faster. I can't declare that for sure, but he definitely can cut and change direction and has a wiggle that Teague does not.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering where that came in. And to be clear, I watched the Ohio State Clemson game, and almost verbatim, I looked over at my dad and I said, this Trey Sermon guy looks like a tank. I mean, I watched him just absolutely just toss people over his shoulders against Clemson that whole game. So I know, how deadly he is. But I guess when I just watched the Alabama game and I had seen a couple or a little bit of Ohio State prior during the season. I just really didn't think you guys will, like, it wasn't an avalanche that y'all fell down when Trey Sermon went down. I think Master Teague's still a really capable back. It would have been like, I guess, way back in the early 7 days when we had Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. I thought the gap was kind of like that.
Master Teague didn't get shut down to nothing. It's not like he wasn't productive in the game. He was fairly productive.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was just curious about that. It looks like he's a sophomore, so you guys got him for at least another year. But I think you guys are definitely good and set going forward at the running back position.